Hi, this is Enterprise Headline News, and I am Olamide Oyani. The 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory generated a sum of 559.4 billion naira as internally generally revenue in the first half of 2018. Statistics released by the National Bureau of Statistics have revealed. The amount, when compared to the 453.83 billion naira recorded in the first half of 2017, represents an increase of 27.7%. The report stated that Lagos recorded the highest internally generated revenue with a total amount of 196.39 billion naira. The report explained that while 28 states recorded growth in internally generated revenue, 8 states recorded a decline in revenue performance. The states with a decline in revenue are Abia, Anambra, Benue, Taraba, Kebbi, Kwara, Ebonyi and Enugu. The National Bureau of Statistics report put the allocation to states from the Federation account at 1.74 trillion naira within the first half of this year. The African Security Exchanges Association at 22nd Annual General Meeting elected the Chief Executive Officer of the Casablanca Stock Exchange, Mr. Karim Aji, as the president, while Mr. Edokosi Amenove was elected as the deputy president of the association. Mr. Aji takes the leadership of the association after Mr. Oscar Uyema, the chairman of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, who successfully served 2 terms as the president of the association. Other officers constituting the newly formed executive committee were the Chief Executive Nairobi Security Exchange, Mr. Geoffrey Odudo, Chief Executive Officer Johannesburg Stock Exchange, Mrs. Nikki Newton, Chief Executive Officer Egyptian Exchange, Mr. Mohamed Saleh. Others include Chief Executive Officer Botswana Stock Exchange, Mr. Tapalo Chiole, Chief Executive Officer Douala Stock Exchange, Mr. Perel Ekole, Chief Executive Officer Ghana Stock Exchange, Mr. Kofi Yamua, and Chief Executive Officer Rwanda Stock Exchange, Mr. Pere Nwambukumba. The newly elected president, Aji, commended his predecessor, Mr. Oyema, for the good work done in the past 4 years. He said the newly formed executive committee will build on the legacy Oyema had left. And in Africa, the U.S.-based International Center for Settlement of Investment Disputes has rejected Zimbabwe's application to annul an $195 million award to a German family whose property was expropriated under the controversial land reform program. The development comes after the cash-strapped Harare government again reiterated its commitment to compensate farmers whose property was seized under the chaotic and often violent program. Finance Minister set aside just $53 million in its 2019 budget proposals, but more than 4,000 ex-farmers says they are owned up to $9 billion. Part of the World Bank Group International Center for Settlement of Investment Disputes last week dismissed Harare annulment application in the long running with the family of Bernhard, one peasant, which had invested in forestry and agricultural businesses in the country. Kenya's central bank held its benchmark lending rate at 9% on Tuesday, saying inflation remained within a band favored by the government. Inflation fell to 5.5% in October from 5.7% the previous month. The bank's Monetary Policy Committee said after declines in food prices that offsets the effect of an 8% value-added tax imposed in September on the petroleum products. The Monetary Policy Committee said the economy was operating close to its potential and that first half of 2018 gross domestic product growth averaged 6.0% compared with 4.7% in the same period last year. The East African economy's current account deficit is expected to narrow further to 5.2% of the gross domestic product in 2018 from 6.3% in 2017, according to the Monetary Policy Committee. And on foreign scene, New Zealand blocked its top telecom firm from using Huawei equipment for its 5G mobile network, dealing another blow to the Chinese state company's ambition to become a leader in the next generation wireless technology. Spark, the country's largest telecommunication company, said government officials told the company on Wednesday that using Huawei 5G equipment would, if implemented, raise significant national security risk. New Zealand's spy agency, the Government Communications Security Bureau, confirmed the assessment in a statement. Under the country's telecommunications security law, that means Spark can't use Huawei equipment to build its planned 5G network. And moving down to sport, Barcelona Football Club is the new highest paid sports team in the world, with players making an average of $13.8 million during the 2018-2019 season. Barcelona returns to the #1 spot in rankings for the first time since 2012. This data comes from the Sporting Intelligence Annual Global Sports Salary Survey, which look at the first team pay for 349 teams across 8 different sports in 18 different leagues across the world. This data comes from Sporting Intelligence Annual Global Sports Salary Survey, which looks at the first team pay for 349 teams across 8 different sports in 18 different leagues around the world. All in all, this team averaged a combined $22.2 billion in wages annually. And that's it on Enterprise Headline News for today. For more information, you can visit our website www.enterprisenetwork.africa and all our social media platforms are available for your all-round information. Many thanks for watching. Hi, I'm Olamide Oyani, and this is Enterprise Headline News.